Alright guys, what's up? I'll review today as I said, my little Gucci loafers, Jordaan. I recently picked them up for like a fucking steal. I just paid, what did I pay? Like, I paid $200 for them and they retail for 650 euros, which is crazy. But I'm gonna do a review about them in a second after, I share like my link a little bit so some people come and watch. So what I'm going to be talking about today is I'm going to be reviewing this pair of shoes, and I thought I'm gonna do like a live review because I haven't done that before, and I thought let's see how it actually works out in the format, like where you do it live. I should be looking at my chat a little bit as well. Oh yeah. I got my, sorry, I didn't know that someone's actually watching them on my video now. I got those loafers from Vinted. It's basically like a second-hand website, and I picked them up for $200 from a guy who I'm not sure what he was doing exactly. He was either like running a luxury store, because the address where I got them from was actually from like a proper boutique, or he's just an employee there, or like he's actually the owner. I'm not 100% sure, but that was pretty sick, that you get like a real pair of Gucci loafers for that price. And I'm pretty sure that they are real. Like, honestly, like with Gucci you never know, because especially like once they're worn, like, let me just show you, like, look at the sole. Wait, actually let me see if it shows. Yeah, look at the sole, once you wear a leather shoe, like, which basically has a leather bottom, they will get like this immediately, man. Like, they will it's not breaking, like, that's just totally typically for like a leather sole. But once that happens, like, so you can't really identify them from the sole anymore, just like, by the stance maybe, but otherwise, it's really difficult like to determine whether they're real or not. And also, like, on the inside, it's a thing which is going to get used, so on the inside, it is difficult. You can even see the nails inside, right? But to determine whether they're really real or not, it's really difficult. And even the people who work at Gucci, I used to work at Gucci, so they can't determine whether the stuff is real or not. So I mean, like, just what I get from is they are really good quality, and well, they're not really worth the price tag, like the originally asked price tag. But I guess at the end of the day, it is a luxury product, and you don't really pay what you get for it. It's like you pay for the name and you pay for the prestige to actually own something. So actually, let me talk a little bit about the history of this shoe. So, like, the first Gucci loafer came out in 1953, and there's like this iteration. Actually, let me pull that up real quick. So actually, I'm not talking live right now because I fucked this up in the stream. My audio was gone, so I'm sorry about this. But I basically just wanted to talk about the difference between the 1953 model and the Jordaan model, which I have right now. As you can see, the 1953 model is much more chunky and it's much more like old-fashioned. But I guess, this kind of retro style is kind of popular right now, so they kind of do work. But I feel like going forward, the Jordaan is definitely the more fashion forward version, especially because it is very pointy and it's sort of like an almond shape. Like an almond's pretty pointy, right? So yeah, this is how you would define that shape. And the 1953 version is a classic. It doesn't look bad, but I just feel like it kind of looks, in German you would say altbacken, like kind of like old school, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it here because I just blah in the stream and no one was hearing me anyways, which was bad on my part. So yeah, well, anyways, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to check out my new videos and stuff, check out the stream. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, cheers. Like the Jordaan, which I'm having, I feel like they became very popular with women as well, and I even feel like they look like a little bit better. I'm sorry about the switching screen. Oh, that sucks. So basically, I was talking about how I actually think, the normal sort of Gucci loafer, like back in 1953, is less feminine than it is nowadays. And I think that is because loafers became really popular with women nowadays. And I mean, this would look so good on a woman as well. So this is why I also think it's so difficult for like a guy to, wear a loafer like this, because especially, when you don't wear something very elegant, to wear something very feminine is really difficult to pull off. Because when you wear like a pair of jeans or something, that doesn't look feminine. That looks like rugged workwear, and like workwear with a pair of loafers doesn't work. So you know, you have to wear like your suit pants or something like that in order to pull these off. So yeah, they're super nice, but they look very feminine. You have to keep that in mind, especially when you compare them to the pair of 1953, which I just showed as well. And I feel like, you know, now we should like kind of like look into the shoe, and I'm gonna put them on the table, you know, and kind of like dissect them, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. So let me do that. Okay, this is kind of like difficult to do. So because I have to hold the microphone and the camera in one hand, so I hope it's going to work out. So basically this is the pair of loafers, and as you can see, like this whole bit is like so classic. Like you can see it on every Gucci loafer, not every, but like most of them. And like this is very like the statement piece of this whole loafer, and you can see how this shape is really like very narrow in the front. Like it is still very comfortable, and you don't really like feel it on the foot, but when you wear it, you can like, when you look down, you really see how narrow it is. And it looks good, but as I said, it looks very feminine, so it might not be everyone's cup of tea. What you also have to know about this loafer is the color of it is actually like a dark navy blue. Because of my filter, I'm not 100% sure if you can actually like see it, if it's dark navy blue or black, but it is dark navy blue. And it is not just like a unique color, it actually gets darker in front of like the shoe tip. So that's very nice. I think this is like only due to you know, actually like when you like color it, it actually takes more time, because you have to like get the shade of very dark blue in the front and like the lighter blue in the middle of the shoe. So that's actually like a sign of quality. So what else? I mean, yeah, stitching is good, I guess. I haven't like really looked too much into the stitching, because so basically what you know is like when the stitching is everywhere like the same size, so you can actually see if it's always the same size, actually done by a machine. And like when the stitching is not even, so like when the spacing between the stitching is like a little bit different, then it actually means that it's hand stitched. And honestly, I guess it doesn't really matter on this sort of loafer, but you know, for some guys, you know, they might want their shoes to be handmade. Obviously they're made in Italy, but made in Italy doesn't really mean that's quality, you know. There's many things made in Italy and they're shit. So but I guess these are pretty okay for being made in Italy. And I guess this time actually made in Italy means something. I think actually like made in Italy shoes are basically best, so I guess that is pretty good. I have something in my throat now because I'm talking so much. Sorry about that. So what I don't like about them is actually the sole, and this is also like partly my fault, because you have to actually sole them at the shoemaker actually to like really take care of them in the long term, because obviously they have a leather sole, and this actually breaks really quickly. And especially like when you walk over like gravel or something, and like little stones like keep sticking into your leather sole, it feels shit. And also like when you walk, for example, at the airport, it's also kind of like a shit feeling, because it's super slippery, because these have literally nothing like, you know, to hold you in place. So I mean, they're obviously no shoes for a hike, but also yeah, get them sold. I'm gonna do that as well, and that shouldn't be too expensive. And especially like when you once you get them sold, they actually like, you know, hold for the long term. And this is like, when you spend that much money for a pair of shoes, you should actually wish for them, you know, to stay sturdy and stay nice for the long term. Actually, I was wanting to answer a question. Navy blue, because people in the navy wear these shoes, maybe in France. I mean, they are dope, man. This is a dope pair of shoes, seriously. And I thought, I have another pair of Gucci loafers, and they're the Brixton, and this is actually called the Jordaan. So Jordaan is actually named after a district in Amsterdam. If anyone has ever been to Amsterdam, it's basically like where all the museums are, and like the art galleries, like a, you know, kind of like a hip place. So, and I feel like this is like perfect for a person, you know, who's into art, or like, you know, into museums, you know, who go to like many art shows and stuff. So I think this is a perfect pair of shoes for them, because if I imagine someone going like to many art shows and stuff like that, you know, in my mind he's quite feminine, and this doesn't come like from a prejudice. I just, you know, worked a lot in the art field as well, and you know, this is just like the type of vibe I get from that. So And maybe I should show some details. So just like most of the Gucci loafers, they have 3 nails in the front and 2 nails in the back, and those are actually brass nails. So brass is better than, for example, I don't know, I guess copper or steel. Copper, because I think it's actually damaging over time the shoe, and it also gets like a patina, so it would like turn green. And steel would actually start rust, I think, would start to get on the thing, so not good. So yeah, brass is definitely the right component for a shoe like this. Also, like, this piece is obviously brass, so you know, it doesn't oxidize, it just stays the same over the long periods of time, so that's perfect. Actually, I should talk about the shoe size as well. Like I'm like a US 10 or like a 44 EU size, and actually you have to like size down a little bit. So especially because you don't want to wear them with like thick winter socks, or like you rather like wear them barefeet than socks. So basically don't buy them too big. Actually size half a size down if you actually go for them. Yeah, you have this like little detail where it says Gucci made in Italy, and this is like one of the things like where you can determine a fake from like a real pair. Like it really needs to have this font, but the bad thing about that is they also change it every now and then. So yeah, it's difficult, like, you know, to tell whether something's real or not. So yeah, and I really have to say, like, you know, comfort wise, they're really nice. I mean, they're comfortable, especially for a pair of loafers. I thought, like, you know, loafers are like super not comfortable, but these kind of like changed my mind. And it could be, let me get this. Oh, these shoe traces are actually really important for like a leather pair of shoes. Like once you wear them, especially like when you wear them bare feet, and you know, you sweat a little bit, like you want to get out the moisture, and you actually do that with shoe trace like this. They cost a little bit more, but like if you have leather shoes, you really should like invest into one of these. Yes, the fakes write on the made in China. No, the fakes do not write on the made in China, but I guess, you know, they would gonna be the same quality at the end of the day. I'm not too fond of Gucci quality, I have to say, but I think they do make nice shoes. Also, like the Gucci Aces, which is like their most popular pair of sneakers, they are actually also like pretty decent quality. So yeah, in the inside they're obviously completely made out of leather. Can you actually you can't take out the sole, so it is a glued sole, and it is also stitched, so you know that just speaks for the quality. And yeah, they're extremely comfortable. I did not get any blisters from them, so that's also very positive. And yeah, also like they're leather stacked, so basically this part here is leather. Let me go closer. This part here is leather, so that means the more you wear it, the more comfortable they will actually become. Also, you can also see, like, when you buy them secondhand, and you want to know whether like the person like wore them a lot or not, because you know you can always like clean the shoes, and then you can't find out if the person has actually worn it a lot. But like with leather shoes like this, you can actually find out, and you do that by basically looking at the sole, and you can see how thick this piece here is. And if it's really worn down, then you know the person like wore it a lot. So in my case, that person has like literally like not worn it like at all, basically, because this piece, you know, like the leather will actually go away much faster than the plastic here. So yeah, that's a good sign for the shoe, I guess. So yeah, look wise, I think they're so difficult to combine, and I'm gonna go back now to the jaw who's sitting down. So one sec. Man, standing up and like, you know, holding the shoe in one hand, microphone in the other hand, man, that's difficult. But you know, it worked out, that's cool. So yeah, like look wise, I think they're so difficult to combine, because as I said, especially for a guy, you know, usually you like when you wear a pair of jeans, you can't really wear loafers, I feel like, because as I said, those loafers especially, you know, they're very elongated, they're very narrow in front, so they look very feminine. And when you wear them with something like a pair of jeans, it just doesn't work out, it looks weird. So you want to wear something like a pair of suit pants, and let me show you what I wear most of the time with it. Oh man, I look so white. Oh guys, so here I am back again, like talking over the video, and you know, just so you know, I was having like a glass of wine there, and I was wearing those loafers with some suit pants. Like those were my Philip K pants, which I also made a review about, and I'm just gonna like show them now in the video here again. Let me cut this here. Yeah, so here I'm just like wearing them, showing them off, kind of, you know, wearing them with the suit pants. Man, they look very, very, I guess you would say royal. Basically, you look like a piece of shit with them, you know, like an arrogant piece of rich shit. And if this is what you're going for, sometimes I'm going for this, so that's perfect. Here. I wear white one with them, yeah, hell yeah. Like, white one's probably the best choice with them, no, I'm joking. Honestly, yeah, wear like kind of suit pants, and you know, like many people, I guess I had a hard time choosing between the Gucci Jordaan and the Brixton. The Brixton are basically the same, but they have a softer leather. This is Nappa leather, and like I think the Brixton is made out of like even softer, sort of. I think it's also should be lamb's leather as well, but even softer. It's like super soft, and it's super easily damaged. And the bad thing about the Brixton is, what I think is bad, is the shoe shape. So basically, these are very like an almond shape, or like a banana shape, I guess, you know, very, very narrow. But the Brixton is actually much more like the shoebox is much rounder, and it doesn't look just as good. It doesn't look as feminine, and you know, I'm not saying like you have to go like full feminine, but I feel like it looks better, you know, when it's like looking very, very feminine instead of just like a little bit, you know. Go all out, you know, don't just like do just a little bit. So